Is Kelsey, and today I'm going to teach you how to plan a speech. You can use this in any communications classes that you may take while at college. The first thing you want to do is to pick a topic. The most important aspect that great speeches all have are appropriate topics. So you want to pick a topic that you have a personal connection to, something that you know about, or you're passionate about, you have expertise on, or that you have experience with. Some ideas that you could take are social policies that you care about, any hobbies or talents that you have, experiences such as travel, funny stories, or special events, or any cultural family traditions that you may have. You want to make sure that your audience will also connect to your topic, and the way to do this is that you need to get to know your audience. You want to know their demographics, like their education, gender, religion, or occupation. You also want to know their psychographic characteristics, like any cultural norms or religious beliefs that they may have. Finally, you want to know the rhetorographics of your speech, which is if it's going to be in a formal or informal setting, if you have a time limit, and a situation that it's going to be in. The next thing you need to do is to formulate a statement of central idea. This is your main argument, and it needs to include your goal and topic of your speech. Essentially, it's what you want the audience to get out of your speech. The next thing you need to do is to collect research that develops your statement of central idea. Use academic or credible sources that end in .gov or .edu, or any academic journals or books. You want to collect evidence that will support your main argument. Some evidence that you could collect are statistics, specific instances, research stories, or expert testimony. You want to make sure that your research is simple, it clarifies, it's credible, and maybe it's emotional or story-based. But most of all, you want to make sure that it keeps the audience interested and supports your argument. The next thing you need to do is to finalize the statement of central idea. So you need to think to yourself, do I have enough information to back up my claim? Does my statement of central idea represent the argument and the evidence that I've compiled? And what are some possible counter-arguments to my main point? The next thing you need to do is to formulate and organize the body of your speech. The best way to do this is to make an outline that includes an introduction, your statement of central idea, your body with subtopics that you're going to hit, and conclusion. There are many ways that you could outline this, but some possible arrangements are spatial, time, topical, causal, using a comparison-contrast model, or a problem and solution model. The next thing you need to do are prepare necessary aids. Many people choose to use PowerPoints, and on this you may have graphs or images, music, some videos, and the best PowerPoints have very little or no text in them and a couple of images that will help you guide your speech. You may also want to use a demonstration to keep your audience engaged. The next thing you're going to want to do is to develop an introduction and a conclusion. The purpose of your introduction is to gain the listener's attention and to inform them on the topic. Some things that you could use to do this are personal references, humorous stories, illustrations, rhetorical questions, or action questions to engage the audience. The point of your conclusion is to summarize your speech and to motivate listeners to take action. Now that you have the bulk of your speech planned, what you need to do is you need to practice, practice, practice. So you could practice in front of your friends or in your room, in the mirror, any way that you think will work best. While you're practicing, you want to pay attention to knowing your references that you're going to cite during your speech, paying attention to how you're standing and your posture, if you're using any hand gestures, too many hand gestures, not enough, and that they're meaningful. You also want to make sure that you're not using a lot of filler words like or And the most important thing is that you need to make sure that you keep eye contact and that you're practicing scanning the room to keep everyone in the audience engaged. You also need to decide if you're going to use index cards. And if you use index cards, make sure you practice not staring down at them and knowing the information that's on it so that you don't get tripped up while giving your speech. By practicing, you will get comfortable with your information, and also if you have a time limit, you'll be able to practice and make sure you stay within that. Thank you, and if you follow these tips, you will have a great speech. Good luck.